Hi everyone! I'm going to show you something you won't find anywhere else. And that's a way to tell exactly how much power your stereo amplifier needs to give you impressively lifelike volume levels without being so loud that you risk damage to your hearing or to your speakers. I made a simple chart for you so you don't have to do any tricky math. And I'll show you how to use that chart to find exactly how many watts per channel you need for your particular speakers and listening situation. Sound is measured in decibels, and there's a standard for how loud sounds can get for safe listening for long periods. That level is 85 decibels, so I'll use that as a target for generating the power chart. At the end of the video, I'll give you some multipliers for targeting quieter and louder maximum levels. For a home stereo, most people will think 85 decibels is very loud, and you have to shout to be understood over music at that level. You may think that the threshold of hearing damage is excessively loud for a home stereo system, but there's a lot of live music that's even louder. The trick is time of exposure. You may be able to listen to a single CD at 94 decibels without permanent hearing damage, but listening to 2 or more CDs in a row at that level could cause permanent hearing loss, ringing in the ears, or both. To figure how much power will give you a loud but safe 85 decibels, you'll need to find the sensitivity rating of your speakers. All speaker manufacturers publish a sensitivity figure which can be found on their website and the websites of retailers like Amazon and Crutchfield. The number that's normally quoted is the number of decibels for one speaker measured at 1 meter distance with an input level of 2.83 volts or 1 watt. The next most important factor is the distance from the speakers to your ears. This matters much more than the actual size of the room or effective sound absorbers like rugs or acoustic panels. For good stereo, both speakers will be the same distance from your listening position, but if they're different, use the closer distance. Once you've measured the listening distance and have the sensitivity number of the speakers, you're ready to use the chart. This chart accounts for having 2 speakers in a stereo system and makes an adjustment for sound reflections in the room. I've also added a factor for the difference between average power, which is what your ears perceive, and the peak power, which is what an amplifier must deliver on musical peaks to avoid distortion. This is a good time to talk about the type of music you listen to. Modern music tends to be played at a louder average level than classical or jazz, but this is offset because the modern music genres are recorded with a much smaller difference between peak and average power. This means that there really isn't much, if any, difference in ideal amplifier power for different types of music, so you can use the same chart for any kind of music. You can also use the chart to find if your speakers are even capable of 85 decibels at your listening position. If the amplifier power that you read from the chart is higher than the speaker's maximum power rating, then a different speaker may work better for you, regardless of how much some guy on YouTube tells you that he likes the sound. You can take a screenshot of this chart for reference, or just come back to it and pause the video whenever you need it. I'll show you now some examples of how to use it. For this pair of Dayton Audio Classic B40 speakers, the speaker sensitivity is 82 decibels. On my desk, the distance to my ears is 3 feet, so I follow the 82 decibel row to where it crosses the 3 feet column. For these speakers, I need 8 watts per channel in this situation. If I want to use the same speakers for listening at a greater distance, the power for a 7-foot listening distance is about 45 watts per channel. Now, the manufacturer's maximum power rating for this speaker is only 30 watts. So although this is a very nice clean sounding speaker for a desktop, if you try to achieve an in-room volume level that feels anything like live music, you'll exceed this speaker's power capability and it sounds quite nasty. By contrast, these Ason Acoustics speakers have a sensitivity of 89 decibels and only need 9 watts per channel to give you that same 85 decibels at 7 feet listening distance. I confirmed this by using an amplifier named Gjallarhorn, from the company that I won't say out loud on YouTube. This amplifier is rated at only 10 watts per channel, but still delivers 85 decibels without any sense of strain or distortion with the relatively sensitive Ascend acoustic speakers. This amp and the Ascend acoustic speakers are both made in the USA, by the way. They're made by small, enthusiast-owned companies that offer really good quality products at affordable prices. For a larger room, you'll likely be listening further from the speakers. The Ascend acoustic speakers can handle 200 watts continuous power, which is unusually high for a bookshelf speaker. Even in a large room, their 89 decibel row meets the 14-foot distance column at an amplifier power of 57 watts per channel, well within the speaker power rating. A different speaker, the CAF-Q Concerto Meta, has a rated sensitivity of 85 decibels, but the online review on the website Erin's Audio Corner found that the real sensitivity is only 84. For listening at a 9-foot distance, these speakers need about 59 watts per channel. To get that same volume at 14 feet needs 180 watts per channel, which is close to the maximum power rating of the speakers, so they're probably not the best choice for a dance party in a really large room. These examples show that the chart is very useful for figuring out how much amplifier power is needed and how it can help you choose a speaker, especially for large rooms. Now, I know that musical loudness is a personal thing, and I'm about to tell you how to modify the 85 decibel target to fit different loudness preferences. But even if you never want to listen to music at that high level at home, and you find that the maximum volume from a TV or one of these Wi-Fi speakers is as loud as you want to go, you can still use the power from the chart. It's like buying a modern car. Even a cheap one will do 100 miles an hour, but you don't have to drive it that fast. In this case though, you might be able to save a little money on an amplifier and speakers. To get a maximum loudness comparable to a TV or Wi-Fi speaker, you can divide the power from the chart by 4. For the kind of sound level that you're likely to experience at a live concert, and if you limit your listening to a couple of hours in any day, you can multiply the power from the chart by 4. If you want really loud, front row at a heavy metal concert level, and you promise me you won't listen to more than one album at a time, then at your own risk, you can multiply the power from the chart by 8. If you like this video, then give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks for watching, everyone.